Hello and welcome to Mastering Microsoft Power Query video series. This is video number 3. In this video, we are trying to check whether Power Query can help us to create an automated, sorted and a filtered report from a data set which we're going to connect. Now let's take a simple business situation so that we can understand what are we trying to do in this video through the Power Query. So let us say I'm an individual who come in the office every day morning, connect to a system, download a dump of data, and then I do some kind of a cleaning work on that data, and then I filter for my required data. I sort it based on a particular parameter value. I take that data to a different workbook and I start performing my regular calculations or whatever requirement is. Now, if I'm going to do this in a normal way, then this is a redundant activity which I have to go through it every day. Now, if Power Query can record all these steps, what I'm going to do, so tomorrow when I come in and when I connect it to the new data set, if all these are going to be happening automatically, then it's quite amazing, which I really don't want to miss it. So let's get into this video. First, let's try to understand what are the tasks we're going to do in this video, and then we will get into the actions here. Yeah. So the task we are trying to achieve in this video is, first we're going to connect to a Excel data source, and then we'll perform some basic transformations. Through this way, we're also getting much more accustomed to the Power Query interface, and we are going to take further level on the working inside the interface by performing a little filter and little sorting. And once that is done, we're going to load that into the Excel, and once we complete that, we are going to check by changing the data source to a different data set which is of similar nature, and if that can give us the same kind of report, then it is quite amazing to watch it. So let's get into the action right away now. So the file we're going to use for this is this one. Let me open that file, and it's the same file. I've just changed the file name which we have used in the video number 2, but for this requirement we're going to use this in a different context. So we do have blank rows, we do have blank columns, and here what I want to do is I just want to take only a particular brand data, which is WL style data, and I want to put a filter on the brand for the WL style, and I want to sort this data based on the revenue from the highest to the lowest, and that is the data which is of my interest. And we're going to test this with a different data set, which is module 4. That is a different data with a different issues in it, but the commonality between these two, the headers are same. That's the only thing we have it. So even in this data, it has to put a filter for the WL style and sort the data based on revenue in descending order, and it has to load the result for us. If that happens, yes, we have achieved the task what we are having in hand. So let's go ahead and do this right away. So I'm going to close this. We're going to open a new Excel, and remember I said in the video number 2 already, whenever you're going to connect to a data source, make sure the data source is not kept in open. So we're going to close this module 3, and we're going to connect to this module 3 through the Power Query interface. So let's go to the data tab, and we go to the get data, and we go to launch Power Query editor. So now that is going to open the Power Query editor window for us right now. And once we got the Power Query editor window, we need to go to the home tab. We need to go to the new source, and we are trying to connect to a file, and which is of Excel workbook. So let's click on it, and we're going to go ahead and choose the file for us, which is inside the video 3 folder, and the module 3 is the file we are trying to connect. So we're going to click on the import, and that's going to bring up the navigation dialog box, in which we might have to choose the sheet which we want to navigate to. So the data is held in the sheet 1. We're going to select that, and we're going to click OK, and that's going to load the data to the Power Query editor. We already agreed we are not going to keep these 2 steps, which is change type and the promoted headers. So we're going to get rid of it from the bottom to the top. Now we're going to do that the first transformations on this data, which is first row as header in the home tab. In the transform section, use first row as header, and to make sure we pick up the we pick up only the required columns, and we have to remove the blank columns. Before I go ahead and remove the blank columns, again we got the change type which we don't want it. We're gonna X that out, and we're gonna click on choose columns in the home tab. Under the manage column, we're gonna click on choose columns. Now we're gonna pick up the columns which we need finally to be retained in the report. So I'm going to select the columns which is of my interest here. So only those columns will be loaded even if I connect to a different data source. If my blank columns are increasing or decreasing, I don't have to worry. So only the selected columns will be loading up for me. So now after that is done, we have to remove the blank rows. So we're going to select the entire table by pressing Ctrl A. Then we go to the home tab. Reduce rows section, remove rows. We're going to remove the blank rows, and we have removed it. And now we got to set the data type. So we're going to go to the transform tab. We're going to click on detect data type, and that is also completed. Now we are coming to the actual requirement. We need to filter only for the WL style brand. So we're going to go to the brand column, click the drop down, and we're going to choose WL style. And that is going to get recorded here. And after WL style is being filtered, we need the data to be sorted based on the revenue. So we're going to click on this drop down where we have the option sort descending or ascending. We want it in descending, so we're going to click on sort descending. So whenever a sort has been performed in a column, you will see this kind of a small arrow pointing down in that particular column. So that is being done right now. So we have filtered, we have sorted, and we're going to load this data back again. But before I load it, I just want to give a name which will help me to understand what is this query is all about. So we're going to double click on this sheet 1 on the queries pane. We're going to say WL style data. So that is the name I want to give it. So I hit enter. So all these are done. Now we need to go to the home tab, and we need to go to the close and load section. We're going to say close and load to, and that's going to give me this pop-up. How do you want to see this report? I would love to see this as a table itself in the same sheet. I'm going to click OK, and there we have the data loaded. And we got only for the WL style, and the revenue is sorted in descending order. Perfect. Everything is beautiful. Now we got to check whether this will be given if I give a new data set of similar nature. So we're going to change the data source here. So we have already learned in video number 2 how do you change the data source. If you're not aware of it, watch the video 2 completely. You will get to know how do you change the data source. But quickly, I'm going to do it over here inside the Excel itself. So I go to my data tab, I go to the get data drop down, I go to the data source setting, and now I want to change this data source from module 3 to module 4. So I'm going to click on it, change the source, and it takes me to the same dialog box which we were accessing from the Power Query editor in the video number 2. So we click on the browse button. We're going to say module 4, click import, OK, close. But I told you already, when you go by this way, you got to refresh to see the changes on your site. So we're going to right click inside the report, refresh, and there we go. We got that data loaded for the new data for the module 4. So that is amazing what we have observed right now, that the Power Query can give you the filtered and the sorted report. So those who have the kind of work which I've discussed in the beginning phase, that you come in and download and filter and sort, take the data to a different place and start working on it. Remember, you don't have to do it again and again every time. You just make sure you use the Power Query in the right way and just change the data source. The result is already in front of you. All right, so we come to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think it was a good learning. In the coming up videos, we will see much more what we can do in the Power Query. Until then, take care of yourself. Signing off. Career Run.